Hey y'all, welcome to my channel Divinely Transformed, where freedom begins within. And together we break the chains of karma and reclaim our power and rise into divine sovereignty. Your path to autonomy and freedom starts right here. Welcome or welcome back to the channel, whichever the case may be. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to your daily short, but before I get started with the reading, please let me remind y'all that I do have daily content over on TikTok. So if this reading resonates with you, if you like my content, feel free to go and check out my content over there. And that link will be in my description box below. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and find out what the Holy Spirit wants us to know for today. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Pisces energy. This is about resistance to change, stagnation, victim mentality, avoidance of surrender, distorted perspective, or spiritual impatience. When it's upright, the Hanged Man represents stillness, surrender, and enlightenment through pause. Reversed, this energy becomes stuck. Awareness is resisted rather than embraced. The ego clings to control and unwilling to release its grip or to see it from a higher perspective. The lesson of the Hanged Man in the reverse is that true freedom requires letting go. The reversal signals fear of sacrifice, attachment to outdated viewpoints, or the refusal to accept necessary transformation. Yikes. Now we have the Six of Swords in the upright. So this is about transitions, moving on, recovery, mental clarity, healing after turmoil, and spiritual passage. This card represents movement from confusion to calm, a journey away from pain and into peace, and it's both literal and symbolic travel, a bridge between old suffering and new understanding. The lesson of the Six of Swords in the upright is healing is a process of movement. Emotional, mental, and spiritual. You don't have to know your destination, only that you're leaving behind what no longer serves you. When you put these cards together, it represents a struggle between resistance and release. The soul knows it's time to move forward with the Six of Swords, but the ego resists the surrender that movement requires, which is the Hanged Man reverse. So this could be about delayed transitions. You might be aware that it's time to move on from a mindset, a relationship, or an emotional wound, yet you feel paralyzed by indecision or fear of loss. The Six of Swords beckons your healing, but the Hanged Man reverse delays the journey through attachment or avoidance. This is all about the fear of letting go of control. The reverse hangman clings to what feels safe, even pain, because the unknown feels threatening. The Six of Swords insists that only by trusting the flow can peace return. So you don't know where you're going. You're just trusting the flow. This is also about a mental shift required for healing. The Six of Swords symbolizes mental clarity, but the Hanged Man reverse shows where your perspective remains blocked. Insight can't emerge while you're still trying to think your way out of surrender. And this is the karmic bridge moment. This combination often marks a karmic threshold, a situation that must be released before your next chapter can begin. The choice is remain suspended in resistance or move with grace towards transformation. There's several karmic lessons, and one of them is the pain of resistance. Karma teaches that clinging to control only prolongs suffering. Every delay and surrender delays the peace that's already waiting. This is about trusting the unknown as well. The journey, which is the Six of Swords, requires faith that you'll land where you need to be, even if visibility is low, even if you can't see where you're at or where you're going. The reverse hangman resists that trust. The karmic growth lies in releasing the need to know the outcome. So you don't need to know where you're going. You don't need to know the outcome. All you know is that you got to go. This is about integration of insight. You've already received the enlightenment of the hangman's suspension. Now the lesson is to apply it. The karmic call is, you already know what to do. Why aren't you doing it? This is about closure and forgiveness. This pairing can symbolize karmic release, leaving behind cycles of guilt, shame, or victimhood. True movement forward requires forgiveness of self and others. And of course, let's go into the shadow work themes. Attachment. What am I still holding on to that I know is over? So what are you attached to that you know is over, that you're not leaving behind? Fear of change. What belief convinces me that I'm safer in discomfort than in the unknown? So you don't like what's going on around you, but you feel like the devil that you know is better than the devil that you don't know. Well, the devil that you don't know isn't always the devil, is it? Spiritual pride. Do I believe I've already learned enough? And do you think that you're avoiding the next lesson because you think you've learned enough? This could also be about martyrdom. Am I staying stuck to prove a point or to elicit sympathy? And surrender. Where do I need to stop thinking and start flowing? So for the shadow integration practice, close your eyes and imagine yourself suspended upside down. Then slowly lower yourself into the Six of Swords' boat. Feel the release as the current takes you downstream. Every breath out releases a burden. Every wave carries you closer to peace. The spiritual message here is that this is a karmic crossing point. Your soul knows the lesson, but your ego hesitates to act on it. The universe is encouraging you to trust the movement of life, to stop analyzing and start allowing. The Hanged Man reverse says, you've waited long enough, and the Six of Swords says it's time to go. Your peace, healing, and rebirth lie not in control, but in a graceful transition. You know what that sometimes can look like? Living alone for a few years so that you can balance yourself, your nervous system, your mind, your body, your soul. Balance it out with, going to counseling, doing your shadow work, doing your meditation, making sure that you're always striving to be the best person that you can be. That's what that can look like. That's how I had to do it. Right. I remember that. I remember being stuck. And I remember being desperate to be free. I channeled the desperation to be stuck into the desperation to be free. And that's how I left it all behind. The old way of being. So, that is what I have for y'all for today. If this reading resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment because I'd love to hear what you have to say. And thanks again for supporting all of my platforms and all the ways that y'all do. And I'll talk to y'all soon.